Welcome along to the 5th installment in our video tutorial series where we are learning how to create a space shooter game using Pygame Zero. In the first few videos we got our spaceship moving around, we got it shooting when we press the spacebar, we've got our background scrolling down the page to make it appear as though we are flying through space, and we've also got those enemies appearing from the top of the screen as well. What I would like to do in this video is make a bit of a collision event between the bullets that we shoot and the enemy ships. So when we do hit them with a bullet, I want them to basically blow up and disappear off the screen. Alrighty, so let's get stuck into doing that right now. So the first thing I'd like you to do is look in the top section of your code here, just above the define update function. And we're going to go just underneath where we created an enemies list. And we're going to make another list called explosions. So I'm going to write explosions equals and then open and close a set of square brackets. I'm just going to copy that comment from the lines above there and paste it in where it says create an empty list to hold multiple, get rid of the word enemies and say explosions on the screen at once. So what this is going to do a little bit later on when we add some more code is it's going to allow us to have multiple enemy explosions appearing on the screen at any one time. Alright, so once you've got that created, we can head down to the update function. And we're going to go right to the bottom of that, so it's just above the draw function, but still inside this update function. We're going to tab ourselves across one indent there. And what we're going to do first up here is create a loop. And what it's going to do is it's basically going to iterate or loop through every bullet on the screen and check to see if any of those bullets have collided with an enemy. And if they have, then we'll just delete that bullet. We'll work on the explosion and deleting the enemy very shortly, but we'll do this bullet section first. So I'm going to start with a for loop, and I'm going to write for bullet in bullets and put a colon. And then we're going to create a new variable on the next line called hit. And hit is going to be equal to bullet.collidelist, and then in brackets we're going to write enemies. Okay, and what that's going to do is give us the index of the item that has collided with the bullet. So it's going to look through that enemies list and work out if any of those enemies have collided with a bullet, and if they have, then it's going to return the index of that enemy to the computer here that we can use in just a moment. I might put some comments in here before we go any further actually, so I'm just going to say iterate through every bullet on the screen and check to see if they've collided with an enemy. Okay, apologies, that is a long comment there, but best way to explain it. And then next to the line that has hit equals where we create that hit variable, you might want to put a comment in after there as well that says not gives us, we'll say returns the index. Oh, making a few typos here. Returns the index, what was I going to write, sorry, of the item that collided with the bullet. So basically the enemy that has collided with the bullet. Okay, so next line, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to remain indented and I'm going to put a comment that says if a collision occurs, then we're going to remove both the bullet and the enemy. So if a collision occurs, remove the bullet and enemy. Okay, so let's do another if statement here that says if the hit, that's that hit variable we just created on the line above, if it's not equal to, so remember you do the not equal to symbol with an exclamation mark and an equal sign, and we're going to say -1 and put a colon. I'm going to put another comment in here just to explain that, but basically that's just saying a collision has occurred. Okay, if it returned -1, that's a special return value that says a collision has not occurred. But if it's anything else but -1, that must mean a collision has occurred. That's why I've got the comment there saying a collision has occurred. Okay, I might also put in -1 means no collision has occurred. Just so you're aware of what that -1 actually means. Okay, so if a hit has occurred, so that means our hit value is anything but -1, Then we're going to write bullets.remove and bullets. So that's going to look in our list of bullets, and it's going to remove whatever bullet had a collision there with the enemy. Okay, I don't know if I need to add any. Actually, I might get rid of that bit for now. So if a collision occurs, we'll remove the bullet. Alright, now we're going to add in some more details down here inside of this if statement. Okay, this is where the explosion occurs, and this is where we do remove the enemy. So actually I probably shouldn't have got rid of that last part of that comment, because we are going to remove the enemy in just a sec. Okay, so I'll leave that there. Let's keep going. So what we're going to do now is when a bullet does hit the enemy, we're going to add in that explosion animation at the same spot where the enemy was when the bullet collided with them. So I'm going to put in a comment here and just say, when a bullet hits an enemy, oops, add an explosion at the exact spot it was hit. Alright, so we're going to make a variable called explosion. It's going to be a sprite in this case. Explosion equals actor. And in your images folder there, you will have an explosion1 image. Whoops. Okay, make sure you've got those little quotation marks around the outside of it. So explosion1. Sorry, I put a dodgy keyboard, that's why it came out a little bit funny there. So explosion equals actor explosion1. So there's going to be a couple of images here as part of the animation, but we're going to start with explosion1 as the first part of the image. And then we're going to write its X and Y value in, where we want to position it on the page. So explosion.x, and then we're going to set that equal to enemies, and then in brackets, it's going to be the square brackets, the word hit.x. Okay, and then we're going to almost copy and paste that onto the next line and just change those x's to y's. So basically what we're doing there is putting an explosion in place of where our enemy was hit, and it's going to look at the x and y coordinates to work out where that exact location was. Then we are going to add the explosion to our explosions list we made earlier in this tutorial. So we're going to write explosions.append. That means we're adding something to a list. And then in brackets we write explosion. It adds that explosion variable into that list. A little bit confusing. We're using explosion and explosion lots of different times here. Trust me, you just keep copying, it will eventually work. Okay. Not only are we making an explosion appear on the screen, we also need to get rid of the enemy. Okay, so to do that, we just write enemies.remove, and then in brackets, we write enemies. So we're looking back in that enemies list, and we're going to work out which one has been hit. So in square brackets, just write in hit, and close off the rounded brackets. So enemies.remove, and remove whichever enemy it was that got hit. Okay, so I might put a little comment in that says that there. Actually, it doesn't tell us, it just say removes the enemy that was hit by the bullet, or by a bullet. Okay. Perfect. Let's keep going. We're getting close to the end of this section now. What we're going to do now on the next line is write explosion.images, and we're going to write equals, and inside square brackets we're going to write explosion1 inside of quotation marks there, and put a comma, and then explosion number 2 for the next one there. Oops, and close your square brackets off. So that's just going to run through those two explosion images to make a little animation. So it looks like the enemy ship has exploded. We're going to run it at 8 frames per second. So we'll do explosion.fps and set it equal to 8. You can change that number to 8. You can make it lower or higher. It depends how fast you want the animation to play. So feel free to adjust that number and just see what sort of effect it has on your explosion animation. And the last one I want to put in there is explosion.life. And what this is going to do is basically start a little countdown. And that will represent how long the explosion is going to be displayed on the screen. So I'm going to put explosion.life equal to 10. If you want that to disappear quicker, make that number smaller. If you want it to stay around a little bit longer, then make the number bigger. Again, just play around with that number and just see what sort of effect it has on your explosion. Probably should put a comment in there saying this will store a countdown that represents how long the explosion will be displayed on the screen. Cool. Okay, that is looking pretty good. If we test that, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Actually, we haven't drawn it yet down the bottom there, so maybe we need to head to the bottom of our code and draw in, what have we got so far? We've got the background, the player, the bullets and the enemies. Let's put the explosion in and we'll see if that works. So quickly write in draw the explosion, and we'll put a loop like all the other ones for explosion, in explosions, colon, and then explosion dot draw bracket bracket. That will just draw the explosions on the screen when the time is right. Not sure if it's going to work just yet, but we'll give it a test run. Let's see what happens. There you go. So we are hitting our enemies and our explosion is kind of working, just not disappearing. Okay, but the bullet is disappearing, the enemy's disappearing, so they're working. What we might do there is put in a little bit more code to make those explosions disappear off the screen. Okay, so back up in the update section here, just under what we were writing before, under explosion.life. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back level with this indent up here where it says for bullet in bullets. Okay, so we're going to tab ourselves across just once. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add in a loop that basically shows the explosion on the screen for a short period of time, and then we'll delete it after a very quick countdown. So let's get started by, I might stick a comment in first of all that just says the explosion will appear for a short while. It's going to be a very short while, it'll be less than a second. And we'll write decrease, oops, its life on each update. So each time the update function runs, which is many times per second, it's going to decrease its life of 10 by 1, and then when it gets to 0, we'll make the explosion disappear off the screen completely. So we'll say decrease its life on each update and delete when it hits 0. Okay, let's write the code and you'll see that make a little bit more sense. So we'll start with a loop that says for explosion in explosions. Oops. So for explosion in explosions, and we'll put a colon there, and we'll say explosion dot animate first of all, bracket bracket, and I'll just put a comment there that says animate the explosion. I might just quickly show you what that animation is going to look like. If I go to my images folder, I've got these two explosion images here. They look very similar, same colors, but they are slightly different. It will look like a cool little explosion once it is running well. So we'll check it out in a sec. After that, we are going to take 1 off the explosion life. So all right, explosion.life. It's going to be set to minus equals 1. Okay, so each time our frame or our update function runs, we're going to take 1 off that, and when it gets to 0, that's our next test, we need to delete the explosion from the screen. So if the explosion.life equals 0, put a colon. Remember, we're conducting a test here to see if it equals 0. That's why we put 2 equal signs. We're going to do that when we're conducting a test. And we'll write explosions.remove, and then inside brackets, we're going to remove the explosion from that explosions list. Alright, a little bit confusing, I know, but let's give it a run and see if it works. There we go. So you can see that explosion on the screen for that short period of time. It runs through the first explosion image into the second and then disappears off the screen. That's looking pretty sweet. So I think that is us done for this video tutorial. We'll come back in another tutorial shortly, and we might have a look very soon at adding some score. We'll add a score in. We might add some sounds in there, a bit of music in the background, and we'll also have to put in some enemy collisions. So when the enemy actually collides with our spaceship, what are we going to do? Okay, so I'll catch you in the next video for those things.